although we can't access it. You kind of can imagine how the view is going to be from up there when you have this kind of view from here. Wow. And here basically you can see one of the places, the second one, where you can actually go up there, have a look at least do this part, go up here, sit and have a coffee, sit and have a drink. Really great atmosphere, really looks nice. Hi everybody, today we are going to give you a guided tour around the city park of Mardian. Tell you how you can get here and basically just give you a lot of footage so we get an idea how the park looks like. Now we're going to move on to somewhere in the city where I will explain you how you actually get to Mardian. Now we are at the end of the Riva, which is basically, you can say this is the central hub if you want to go to Mardian. Here you have multiple options. If you want to go to the northern part of Mardian, which is basically this way, you can take a bike or you can walk. To get to the gate, it's about maybe 1 kilometer. And if you want to get out to Bene, the beach at the southeastern peak of Mardian, it's about 3 kilometers if you follow the northern part out there. If you want to walk to the top of Mardian, you basically you can follow this street next to the church here. Just go straight up on this one, it's called Zinska Street, all the way to the top, and from there on you have stairs which would take you direction the peak. Quite a long walk and a lot of stairs, so keep in mind if you're not walking too well, then maybe that's not the way you want to take. The other option in walking is if you go a little bit down this street, follow the water here until you get to Hotel Ambassador, 300-400 meters from here. On the opposite side of the street, there's a stair. There's also a sign over there leading you up to the Videlica, which is maybe 1/3 up towards the peak. Up there, there's a coffee bar. And that one is stairs all the way from the bottom until you get up there. But then you also have city bus number 12, which would drive you all the way to Bene. There's a few stops on the way. So if you're going to some of the beaches out here, there's 2 very popular beaches on the south side, Kastellet and Kaasjuni. There's bus stops basically where on the road where the beaches are. And you also have a small tourist train which goes from here and would take you out to Bene. So this is kind of the transport options. Today we are gonna take a bike and go out to Bene and show you how it looks out there. And you can see here's a bike station. Basically you need to download the Nextbike app and then you can rent a bike. And in the app you can see all the stations which is available around the city, and you can actually also see is there any bikes available at a specific spot. So when you want to plan how to go around, check the app and figure out if there's something available for you. From here on it's only bike or by foot. I'm just gonna put the bike here off for a few seconds. So once you get here, you see if you from here on you have different options. Of course, if you look in front of me here, you have the asphalt road, which is divided into a walking part and a path for bicycles. If you like to do running or just walking, but not necessarily a fan of the asphalt, you have these kind of trails throughout the park, and you can basically get all the way to the end of the Bene. When you walk down this way, you will have several tracks going up to the left if you want to go up to the top. You can see here there's another bike rental station. In total, there's 4 bike rental stations inside on Mardian. So you can go by bike here, leave the bike, walk back, or you can walk here and take a bike back. So you can combine it however you want. If you're with kids or if you like to share the hard work of pedaling with more people, you have option to rent these kind of twin or quad seated bikes. Also, lots of people walk their dog here in Mardian because we don't have that many green areas in other parts of town. So if you want to take a longer walk with your dog, this is really a great spot to do so. Of course, dogs needs to be on leash. That's park rules. Mardian in general is a protected nature park. So there's several restrictions in terms of what you can do here. You see the asphalt road, but there's no cars allowed, unless in case, there's been some cases where we have a tunnel which goes under Mardian. When they are doing reconstruction on that one, they might open this for cars for the period of the reconstruction. But in general, the only thing which is allowed to go out to the end is bicycles, foot passengers, and the city bus number 12 and the tourist train which goes from Svetlana. You can see the trails here. Some of the part they follow this one, the asphalt road. In other parts they go further into the woods. So we're just going to do a stop here. The trails have certain stopping points where you can do different exercises, and there would usually be a sign like this one here, which would show you for which kind of exercise this is intended, and you would find them all around the trail. As you see down here in front of me, now I'm just going to stop the bike, you have beaches. And basically most along the northern coast, more or less all the way, you have beaches, so you can find a nice spot all the way along the coast here. I think from the gate till Bene it's maybe 1.6, 1.8 kilometers, so you can definitely walk out there and walk back. Now we're just gonna stop here. Several places around the park you find places where you can get nice cold water, and as you can see there's also a bowl for the dogs. This side of the Mardian points towards the mainland, the Castella Bay as we call it. So you basically have town all the way along the coast from Split till the airport. So you see here Castella in the background, swimming options, people everywhere. Over there you see last part of Split. Now we are coming to Bene, which is the north, now I need to think, northeastern part of the park. So this is the peak on this side, and down here you have various options. There's a pitch for playing football or soccer. Unfortunately not well maintained. I used to play here many years ago and it was completely in another condition. I don't know what happened since then. And you have also 2 or 3 tennis courts down here. I'm also not sure if they are actually being used that much. Then you have a bit of fun of action for the smaller ones, and of course we are in Split, Croatia. We have a coffee bar. It's a good place to go and have a coffee, sit and enjoy nature. And of course you have the main thing here is beaches, which is basically mostly used by the locals, so it's kind of a little bit secret tip. I would definitely recommend you being here. You can see it's relatively shallow water, so if you're with kids and stuff, you know, this is really a good place to go. And I don't know if you see out there, but you can actually also rent kayaks from here. So if you want to go exploring in Castella Bay and around with a kayak, this is a great place to do so. As you see here, there's a whole bunch of people ready to go on a kayak trip. Anyway, we are gonna keep our round trip, continue our round trip around Marian. So now we're coming up to the roundabout here. So basically here you have, as you can see here on my right side, you have a bus stop. This is where you would wait if you want to take bus number 12 back. You have here the tourist train. So if you take a ride with this one, this is also where you get on and off when going to Bena. Over here in the woods, you have an exercise area where you have various devices, so you can really do your daily exercise here if you feel like it. 5-6 years ago, I think it was in 2019, the trees, a lot of trees in the park got attacked by some bug, bark bug I think it was. So lots of them actually got sick by this, and they had to be cut down. So in some parts of the park, they really had to take away lots of the trees. So of course they have planted new ones, but they are still not at a size where they give the shade and stuff which came from the old trees. And probably there's no need to mention it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Obviously open fire, being it throwing a cigarette or whatever, is not something you should do here, because if this catches fire during the summer, you should leave Split very fast. And down here you have actually a military zone, so there's a part here which is fenced in and you cannot access it by foot, but of course if you're out in a kayak, then you can pass by. Here we have number 12 bus coming. Down here is the institution. I think it's some educational stuff. And here you have another bus stop where bus number 12 can pick you up. This is the south side gate. Normally if I would come from the city, of course I would come from the opposite direction. But as we're doing the round trip, this is of course not the case. You can just manage to see that there's another train going up to the top, which you can also take from around Svedifrane. If you were to go by bike, you don't have an electrical bike like I have today. This is pretty steep, and these next bikes are pretty heavy. So if you're not used to biking, you might not want to like the trip from here on. You have a really nice view up here. You can see Island Chirimo here behind me. Out there, a bit hard to see today, but it's Island Brach, and behind that one Island Var. And probably it's impossible to see on the camera here, but down there we have one of the really popular beaches on Mardian, Kashuni. I'm going to show you in another video how to get around to the different beaches around Split, but this one is really popular. So if you check down here, see somebody was really fortunate that some family members back in the days built a house here, and maybe they probably they restored it or renovated it, but look what a place to live. Just looking out on the boats here, looking at the beach. Really nice spot. Maybe here we have a better view on the beach. Not sure if you see it, but Kashuni, definitely recommendable. So here's some interesting stuff to see. If you look up here, you see there's a construction built into the walls here, to the cliffs here. This is basically one of a few heritage places which you can find here on this side of Mardian. Hey! But riding up here on an electrical bike is actually very warm. So doing it on a regular bike would be extremely warm. So maybe consider time of the day when you ride up here. I would personally, on a regular bike, do it very early in the morning. Now we're coming up to an interesting spot. On all the cliffs you see here, there's a lot of people doing free climbing. So you have some information about it here. You can see what equipment you need to do and you need to bring. Let's see here. Now we're just gonna go this way in. And here basically you can see one of the places, the second one, where you can actually go up there, have a look at the heritage place. And the other one we passed by earlier, you can basically follow the path here, I think, and then you get down to that one if you also want to have a closer look at this one. We're ready to go. Continue our climb to the top of Mardian. The peak is at, I think, 178 meters, so that is why it's still a hill, it's not a mountain. So now we come to a place where you have left and right option. So if you go to the right here, there's a dirt road which would take you down to what we call Videlica, which is a viewing point. We have a really nice view on the city and you have a coffee bar. So that's an option. If you want to go to the top, we need to go left here, and that's of course what we're doing. Actually, I didn't went left or right here, or left as we were supposed to do. I'm actually going to go back because I want to show you the new observatory which is currently being built, and I think will be finished sometime this year for sure. can't access it. You kind of can imagine how the view is going to be from up there when you have this kind of view from here. Wow, amazing. So we're gonna park the bike over here next to the stairs, and then we're gonna walk up. The bike is parked, so now it's time to, walk the last stairs. So we're just gonna go up to the current top point of Marian Hill. There's a few stairs on this side, definitely also. You see we have a huge cross over here. Really nice spot for some great view on Split and the surrounding area. To the north over here we have the Castella Bay. The road is where you move out to Trogir. When we go down here, you basically see, I don't know if you see it here, but out here is our stadium, Puljut. Basically, all the way here, you have the city. Out here again, you see the ferry port. So really great views. Exactly. Here is the turning right point. Another tourist train, a bus, train, truck, whatever. Coming. Here you have children playground, you have a few places where you can do activities on both sides. You have an outdoor theater. I'm actually not sure if it's still used. I haven't heard about any event here, but there might be some. There's options. You can sit up here and have lunch. And of course, viewing points, benches, just to sit and relax. And over here to my left is Split Zoo, which is very, very small there. I don't know what they have in there now. A few different domestic animals. But so bike is parked next to the zoo. Let's continue by foot. So of course now we are going to take some of the stairs down. The healthy option would of course have been walking up here, but it's simply too hot. I prefer walking up when we are in the winter period. And we're going to continue straight. You could also go right. Both options are fine. As I recall it, I think this is the old, behind the wall here, I think this is the old Jewish cemetery. But we get it confirmed when we get a bit further down. There should be some signs. I know it was closed for some time, several times I was up here. I don't know what the current status is, but we will see when we get down to the other end. Down here we should have some signs. Yeah, I think here we can see it. So it is actually, It is actually the old Jewish cemetery. It seems that you can actually go in there. I haven't been in there for probably 15 years or something like that. And I'm not sure, because of the lock and this stuff, if you're actually supposed to, so we're gonna leave that out now. So what you see up here is Videlitsa, coffee bar Videlitsa. Really popular place to go up, you know, because when you sit here you have a fantastic view on Split. So if you feel like taking just a small walk, not all the way to the top of Mardin, at least do this part, go up here, sit and have a coffee, sit and have a drink. Really great atmosphere, really looks nice. A lot of people decide to go here by tuk-tuk. Haven't tried that, but it seems that they can basically go all the way up. So if you're a bit not feeling you want to include exercise in the visit, then tuk-tuk is the way to go. I think if you take Uber and taxi, maybe they can also get close, but it's a bit jammed here with the traffic. As I mentioned earlier in the video, there's two ways up to this point by foot. One of them is basically ending up here when you come up from the stairs. And basically if you follow them down now, you will come out down close to the Hotel Ambassador. Fantastic view on Split. So really something to see if you're here. Anyway, we're gonna take the second way down when we go down from here. Here, the road you see up here is actually, we take you not completely to the top, but near where we had the observatory. And at the beginning it is an asphalt road, and later it becomes a macadam or a dirt road. So this is the way we're going to take down. A lot of the houses you will see on both sides when we're going down here is basically Airbnb's apartments you can rent. And this is really a super neighborhood, very close to the city. So if you want to stay in this area, you should look for Varos. It's what it's called. Look like this one, really nicely renovated. And now you start to have restaurants. Here's the first one. And the closer you get to the city, the more of them you will have. If you check my website, you will find all information relevant for visiting Marian. I haven't even seen they open this one. Really nice. So now we are basically coming down to where we started our trip. So I hope you enjoyed our film about Mardin and Split, all the tips we gave you. So thank you for this time and stay tuned for the next video.